There's one quality that's stronger than being mean, smarter than being a genius, and mightier than having lots of money. It's having no fear, not the loud show-off kind, but the quiet, deep kind. The kind that comes from burning all your bridges, stopping all your hesitations, and burying your guilt for the sake of power. This is the no-fear attitude Machiavelli looked up to, the kind that keeps kings awake at night, the kind that turns regular people into secret leaders. It's not about being brave. It's about feeling nothing. You stop being scared of failing, being betrayed, losing things, or even dying. You become untouchable, not because you're guarded, but because there's nothing left for anyone to take from you. Most people are led by fear. Fear of being disliked, replaced, or exposed. But truly powerful people, they feel nothing. They don't pause. They plan. They attack. And when fear dies, something darker takes its place. Total control. In this video, we'll show you why having no fear is the most dangerous weapon Machiavelli talked about, and how those who master it don't just win, they take over completely. The chains of fear, why most people are stuck. Most people don't truly live, they just get by. They make one scared choice after another. Fear is the hidden rope that pulls the crowds. It's why people follow bad leaders, why soldiers freeze in a fight, why you stay quiet when you should speak up, follow rules when you should fight back, and crawl when you should strike hard. Fear isn't just a feeling, it's a system, a pecking order. If you don't master it, you'll always be just a small piece in someone else's game. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. He didn't make fear sound good. He studied it, took it apart. He knew that fear is how leaders control people, and how weak minds give up their power. Look at the world today. It runs on fear. Fear of being canceled, fear of being broke, fear of being rejected, fear of standing alone. You don't make decisions, your fear does. You don't chase your dreams, you bargain with your worries. Every step you take is just trying to get away from being uncomfortable. And here's the secret: how to get rid of fear. The first step to becoming powerful isn't gaining confidence, it's killing fear. Get rid of it, burn it out of your system. Because as long as fear lives, real power can't. You can't make others scared until you yourself feel nothing. You don't beat fear by avoiding it. You beat it by squeezing it until it stops breathing. Most people want to gently overcome fear with meditation, breathing, or positive self-talk. That's weakness pretending to be smart. Machiavelli would laugh at such softness. He didn't believe in taming fear. He believed in turning fear into a tool or getting rid of it completely. So how do you kill fear? Not with courage, but with careful planning. Fear loves uncertainty. It grows in the unknown, in feelings, in chaos. So the first step in Machiavellian change is to turn fear into facts. Turn it into something you can break down, study, and use. Every time you feel scared, ask yourself, what exactly am I afraid of? Losing money? My good name? My comfort? My standing? Break it down, get rid of the illusions. You'll notice that fear is rarely about what's real, it's about your ego. You're not afraid of losing. You're afraid of looking like a loser. You're not afraid of being turned down. You're afraid your self-image will crack. You're not afraid of danger. You're afraid of how you'll look if you fail to avoid it. That's not fear, that's pride. And pride is easy to kill once you stop caring what people think. Machiavelli knew this. A person who cares too much about what others think is already beaten. They don't need an enemy. Their wish to be liked will make them a slave. So how do you change? Step 1. Stop needing everyone's approval. Stop saying sorry for your big plans. Stop making your voice softer to be accepted. Stop asking for permission to be dangerous. When you stop being scared of what others think, you unlock the most terrifying power of all: freedom. Freedom to act without stopping, freedom to speak without holding back, freedom to get things done without guilt. Now let's go deeper. Step 2. Put yourself in small, controlled fights. Fear stays alive in comfort. So if you want to kill it, you have to actively seek discomfort. Start small. Speak up when you're scared to. Disagree when everyone expects you to agree. Do things that challenge who you think you are. You must make it a habit to attack what scares you before it attacks you. Machiavelli understood this. Small acts of rebellion make you tougher. Small risks prepare you for bigger wins. If you can't handle the pressure of a meeting, how will you survive the fire of politics and betrayal? Fear dies when you get tough in practice. So practice hard now. Step 3. Don't get attached to what happens. Fear lives because you care too much about a certain result. You want success, love, respect, control, and the idea of losing them freezes you. This is your weak spot. This makes you easy to guess. But when you let go, when you no longer fear losing, you become a puzzle. The person who could lose everything and still stay the same. That's what scares people. That's what makes you powerful. If you can't be shaken, you can't be controlled. If you can't be tricked, you can't be trapped. If you can't be threatened, you are untouchable. That is power. The cold awakening, when strength replaces fear. Once fear is dead, something else has to take its place. And for truly powerful people, that replacement is ruthlessness. Because without fear, you no longer stop. Without stopping, you act. And when you act without stopping, being kind becomes a weakness you can't afford. Machiavelli said it clearly. It is much safer to be feared than loved. But he didn't stop there. He showed us why kindness, when used at the wrong time, is dangerous. Kindness is only praised by those too weak to be a threat. People beg for kindness, not because they deserve it, but because they hope it will save them from what they've earned. Consequences, punishment, getting hurt. But the leader, the planner, the power player, he doesn't give kindness because it feels good. He gives it only when it helps his goal. And when it doesn't, he gets rid of the problem completely. You see, once you've killed fear inside yourself, you'll be tempted to go back to old ways, to give second chances, to delay punishment, to explain yourself to people who don't matter. That's left over from your old scared self. Burn it. The fearless person must learn the next rule of power: never stop to destroy. When someone threatens your place, harms your name, leaks your plans, or disrespects you, you respond not with feelings but by getting rid of them. Quietly. Completely. Finally. This isn't being mean, this is smart strategy. Because power isn't kept by being liked, it's kept by being untouchable. And untouchable people don't just defend, they remove problems before they become big threats. Let's break it down Machiavelli style. Kindness makes you look unsure. When you let someone off the hook who deserved punishment, it tells everyone else you're not strong, that you can be swayed, that you feel bad. Once people sense guilt in a powerful person, they will push on it like a sore spot. Kindness invites betrayal. The people you spare won't thank you. They'll see your forgiveness as a sign of weakness, and they'll wait for the next chance to hurt you. Machiavelli warned that those who benefit from your kindness often become the ones who hate your power the most. Kindness only delays the inevitable. The problem you refuse to deal with now will come back stronger. It will cost more to fix later. Weakness plus delay just makes destruction worse. You must understand this. The scared person shows kindness to feel safe. The fearless person shows no kindness because they are already safe. Let others cry for justice. Let them call you mean. Let them paint you as a villain. Fine. Because they don't understand the game. They don't realize that power isn't kept by being fair. It's kept by having control. And control needs a certain toughness. Not always being violent, not causing chaos, but being strategically brutal. Calm and precise. You don't punish out of anger. You punish because you have to. You cut off a finger to save the hand. You get rid of a traitor before they spoil your inner circle. Machiavelli admired Cesare Borgia because he got this perfectly. When Borgia needed to bring back order, he sent Ramiro di Orco, a brutal enforcer, to make people scared and obedient. And once the job was done, Borgia had him publicly killed to win the love of the people and show that he wouldn't let anyone get too powerful. That's tough brilliance. And that's your way. Having no fear isn't about taking unnecessary risks. It's about being willing to do what scared people won't. It's about ruling with precision, not feelings. It's about getting rid of risks, not just reacting to them. When people learn you can make final decisions, they stop testing you, they stop pushing limits. They start respecting the quiet strength behind your smile. Because they know when the time comes, you won't hesitate, you won't forgive, you will finish. That's what separates the powerful from the powerless. Not how many chances they give, but how few. To fear nothing means one big thing. You will walk alone. Not because you're hated, not because people don't get you, but because the fearless person doesn't need others. And that, to the average person, is terrifying. They'll call you cold, proud, heartless. They'll say you've changed, that you're distant, uncaring. But what they're really saying is this: you stopped needing us. Now we don't know how to control you. Having no fear comes with a cost, and this is it: being alone. When you no longer seek approval, you stop fitting in. When you no longer want security, you become a threat to those who live for it. And when you no longer fear being alone, you become untouchable. Machiavelli knew this cost well. He was kicked out, slandered, and left by the very leaders he once advised. But he didn't break. Why? Because being alone for a fearless person isn't a punishment, it's a sharpening stone. Weak people look for crowds, strong people create quiet. And truly powerful people, they disappear to build unseen empires. Understand this: fear brings people together. It's why they gossip, it's why they form weak groups. They are joined by shared worries, each one terrified of being left out, replaced, or forgotten. But when you kill fear, you no longer need the group. You no longer need company to feel strong. You no longer fear being left behind. Because you already chose a path that leaves others behind. That is the start of real power. It's not about being loud. It's about being free from ties. It's about breaking free from the mind games that control everyone else. The fear of being left alone. The fear of being misunderstood. The fear of being by yourself with your own thoughts. You must face it now. Being totally detached isn't comfortable. But comfort is for animals. Power needs an edge. Ask yourself, why do so many strong men fall? Because they surround themselves with comfort, with yes men, with people who depend on them, and slowly rot their judgment. Machiavelli warned against this. He said a leader must always keep his circle small, trust little, and keep his mind his own. The moment you lean on others for strength, you hand them the knife. The fearless person doesn't beg for loyalty. He doesn't beg for company. He doesn't chase love, praise, or support. He earns respect through being quiet, through his results, through being distant. And that distance is what people fear most. People will try to make you feel guilty. They'll say you're disconnected, that you've lost touch, that you're too serious. Good, let them say it. Because they don't understand that you are no longer playing by their rules. You're not in this world to be liked. You're here to be remembered. And those who are remembered are rarely cheered on while they rise. You rise in quiet. You conquer alone. Think of every great figure in history. Napoleon, feared and alone. Julius Caesar, betrayed by friends. Machiavelli himself, writing alone in exile, creating plans for power while the world mocked him. That aloneness, that exile, it created clarity, toughness, mastery. If you want real power, you must choose this path. Not once. Every day, you will eat alone. You will make choices that make you distant. You will break groups when they no longer help you. You will walk out of rooms full of scared people. You will cut ties without saying sorry. Because having no fear demands focus. And focus demands distance. Only then will you see clearly. Only then will you act without delay. Only then will you be able to do what scared people can't. Lead without needing anyone. So when loneliness comes, when the quiet feels heavy, don't run away. Don't go back to comfort. Welcome it. Because that quiet is the sound of your growth. It means fear is gone, and power is taking its place. The price of having no fear is being alone. But the reward is total freedom. Becoming the threat, your final stage. You've killed your fear. You've accepted being alone. You no longer hesitate, apologize, or pause. Now you enter the final stage. You don't just have no fear. You become the fear. Because the moment you feel nothing, you start to sense what others still feel and use it against them. This is where power grows a lot. This is where Machiavelli smiles from the shadows. Understand this. Fear is the most effective weapon ever made. You don't need swords when you have quiet. You don't need to attack when others freeze up just by your presence. Fear does your work for you if you learn how to create it. Machiavelli didn't just study fear, he taught leaders how to build it. He knew people react more to the idea of pain than to actual violence. They fear things they can't guess. They fear mystery. They fear what they can't figure out. And that is your new role. You are no longer just a person. You are a mirror where others see their own weaknesses. So how do you use fear like a weapon? Step 1. Become impossible to read. People who are easy to guess are easy to manage. You must become impossible to read. Quiet, calculating. Smile less, speak less, show nothing. Let them wonder what you're thinking. Let them fill in the blanks with their own worries. And make sure what little you do carries weight. Controlled, planned weight. The moment people can't guess your next move, they stop feeling safe around you. And when they feel unsafe, they obey. Step 2. Show power, never feelings. Weak people show their feelings first. Strong people show consequences. When you walk into a room, people should feel tension. Not comfort. Not because you're loud, but because you act like a person who doesn't play games. Make your presence a warning, not with drama, but with pure control. The way you walk, sit, look, everything must signal. I see everything. I miss nothing. And I feel nothing. That's how dictators rule without speaking. That's how kings win battles before they even start. Step 3. Use fear to control outcomes. Once you understand what others are scared of, use it. The fear of being left out. The fear of being embarrassed. The fear of being replaced, exposed, or demoted. Hint at things without saying them directly. Let them feel the heat without seeing the fire. Let them fear what might happen if they cross you. Because in that mystery, you gain power. People don't follow strength. They follow what they fear losing. So don't directly threaten. Hint. Let your quiet ask the question, what happens if I decide you're a problem? They will answer it for you in how they act. Step 4. Make an example. Someone will eventually test you. Someone always does. When that moment comes, don't warn. Don't explain. Destroy publicly. Make it quick. Make it final. Make it known. Let the others watch. Let them feel their own heart race. Let them realize he's not bluffing. That's how you turn fear from a feeling into a system. You create a hierarchy. People fall in line, not because you asked, but because they know what happens if they don't. This isn't about being mean, it's about total control. Machiavelli warned, a leader who isn't feared will sooner or later be removed. Fear is the shield behind the throne. It's the quiet that surrounds the powerful. It's the pressure that keeps weapons in their sheaths. So here's your new reality. You have no fear, but they do. And that fear, that's your power, your weapon, your protection. Truly powerful people don't fear pain. They create it for others. They don't hesitate. They make others hesitate first. And that's the final step, not just to have no fear, but to become the thing they all fear. Fear is the base of every weak life, every quiet failure, every missed chance. It controls people more than laws, more than kings, more than God. But once you destroy it, you don't just become stronger, you become a new person. You stop reacting like prey. You stop asking for permission. You no longer waste time on approval, safety, or fitting in. Instead, you move with precision, quiet, unplanned, endless. You don't announce your power. You let the quiet around you speak. You cut off hesitation. You stop arguing with your conscience. You stop explaining yourself to people who are already beneath you. You look the world in the eye and say, I don't fear you, I don't need you, and I'm not waiting. When fear dies, toughness is born. Not chaos, not anger, but calm, precise power. You don't give kindness when it's not earned. You get rid of threats before they grow. You don't flinch when betrayal hits. You expected it. You don't fear being alone. You need it. While others chase cheers, you build in quiet. While they look for friends, you become a one-person system. You train yourself to act while they pause. You learn to sit alone while they panic in crowds. You let go of outcomes, of comfort, of the need to be seen. And in that quiet, your power grows. You begin to see how fear controls everyone else, how it makes them easy to guess, emotional, weak. And then comes your final change. You use their fear against them. You become impossible to read, hard to guess, untouchable. You never explain, never show too much. You let your stillness become a question they can't answer. You let your presence create pressure without a word. You don't threaten, you hint. You don't fight often, but when you do, you finish it quickly. You make examples. You speak with actions. You take over without being loud. You become the person they warn others about, the person who doesn't blink, doesn't stop, doesn't break. People obey not because they like you, but because they don't know what happens if they cross you. You don't fear what might happen. You are what happens. This is what Machiavelli understood. That fear, when controlled, becomes the deadliest weapon of all. Not because you use it on yourself, but because you carefully put it into others. That is the path, and that is your choice. You can stay average, led by feelings, looking for safety, needing to be liked. Or you can burn all that away, kill your fear, and build something terrifying in its place. Something powerful, something lasting. If this message hit you hard, if it woke up something tough and calm inside you, don't just scroll away. Like this video to show you're ready. Share it, subscribe now, because this kind of power won't be free forever. For those who refuse to live as small pieces in someone else's game, welcome to the stronger side of strength. Welcome to the quiet power of true control. Welcome to Machiavelli. This is your chance to break free from fear forever. If you're ready to take full control of your life, like this video and join our group of strong, steady minds. Hit subscribe and the notification bell so you don't miss any lessons in real power. Your journey to control begins when fear ends.